halushki. On the banks of the Danube River, the Dunaj, as we Slovaks call it, is the largest city and the capital of Slovakia, Bratislava. Pri prešporku na Dunaj husky sa perú, husky sa perú. Vezmi šuhaj karabinčok, zastrel z nich jednu, zastrel z nich jednu. Ja tie husky nezastrelím, ja tie husky znám, znám, znám. To sú husky mojej Zuzky, čo k nej chodievam, čo k nej chodievam. Ja tie husky nezastrelím, ja tie husky znám, znám, znám. To sú husky mojej Zuzky, čo k nej chodievam, čo k nej chodievam. Bratislava has a long and glorious history. The coronation of Hungarian kings and queens, including Empress Maria Theresa, took place here in St. Martin's Cathedral. The city was home to many celebrated musicians, writers, and artists. The Slovak National Theatre, the Slovak Philharmonic, and the Slovak National Gallery are just a few of the many cultural institutions located in Bratislava. The small winding streets and quaint shops suggest the charm and elegance of another age. This pharmacy still serves its customers as it has for hundreds of years. Its luxuriousness intact. The city continues to welcome artists and visitors from all over the world, making it the most cosmopolitan city in Slovakia. Our good friends, Milan and Sylvia, make our stay in Bratislava very special. They discovered an abandoned attic in the oldest part of town and proceeded to design and build a romantic studio with skylights and a terrace with a super view. Milan and Sylvia paint and then transform their paintings into tapestries. Each thread is woven by hand, and his only tool is an ordinary fork. It may take up to 1 year to complete a tapestry of this size. Sylvia prefers lace making to weaving. She prepares her antique bobbins meticulously and skillfully. The lacing is guided by a pattern. By crossing and twisting the bobbins, she creates a work of art from mere threads. The art of lace making, once an integral part of daily life in the village, has become a victim of progress. Machine-made lace is abundant, but in Sylvia's hands, lace making remains a very personal and elegant art form. Slovakia is a land of castles and fortresses, guardians of many secrets, legends, and mysteries. Once built to repel numerous invaders, they now stand as stone witnesses to the history of Slovakia. Their footprints etched into the landscape. The legend of Chachtice Castle is the most tragic of all. The story of the Hungarian Countess Alžbeta Báthory is fact and is well documented. The Countess lived in this Gothic castle in guarded seclusion till her death in 1614. No one was aware of her deadly, bloody obsession until someone detected the inexplicable disappearance of many young girls from nearby villages. The Countess would send her accomplices to the villages to recruit the prettiest young maidens as servants. The girls who stepped within these walls never left the castle alive. Most of them still lay buried somewhere beneath these ruins. You see, the demented Countess was consumed with a deadly desire for eternal youth and beauty. She believed she could retain her youth and beauty by bathing in the blood of the beautiful young Slovak girls she lured into her deadly den. The jagged, crumbling walls are tombstones to the more than 600 young souls who perished here. The Countess was eventually convicted of her crimes and sentenced. On August 21st, 1614, she died here, chained and locked in her room, a prisoner in her own castle. Perhaps the most popular Slovak folk song in America is Ja parobok z Kapušan. Kapušany is located in eastern Slovakia in the county of Šariš. This song has been heard or sung by every Slovak American and has almost attained the status of a national anthem.
Hej, na co mi je mladá žena, keď ja mám zo sebu do stratenia.
Many churches and landmarks are undergoing reconstruction or restoration. Levoča, a medieval walled town, is having its town square rejuvenated. Here in St. Jacob's Church is the world's largest Gothic altar. It is the masterpiece of the woodcarver, Master Paul of Levoča. Wooden figures which adorn the altar are exquisitely carved in fine detail. They are easily overlooked because of the overwhelming size and grandeur of the altar. North of Levoča, near the Polish border, is Červený Kláštor. This picturesque monastery is the location of Father Cyprian's herb garden. Father Cyprian's experiments in his primitive pharmacy led to the development of modern medicine. The river Poprad is the border between Poland and Slovakia. The river provides a thrilling boat ride and magnificent views. Incidentally, this is the only river in Slovakia that flows north. In the city of Kežmarok is the oldest Lutheran wooden church in Slovakia. We were warned not to go inside because it is in danger of collapsing. It was here in this region where we saw many old wooden cottages, many colorfully decorated. These homes are typical of the region near the village of Žďár. We were invited into this home to see some beautiful examples of folk art. Don't you think my wife Linny and I make a handsome bride and bridegroom? However, the pants do need some alterations. In eastern Slovakia, there are many fine, well-preserved, richly decorated homes and palaces. Someone once referred to these harmonious embellishments as frozen music. This is the city of Prešov, its town square surrounded with many fine Renaissance palaces. Bardejov is the birthplace of the parents of Sister Miriam Teresa, Alexander and Johanna Demjanovich, who emigrated to America in 1884. Sister Miriam Teresa is presently being considered for sainthood. This palace at Humbene and its beautiful gardens provide a romantic setting for an afternoon wedding. Atop a nearby chimney, the stork is getting ready to make his first delivery. The largest man-made lake in Slovakia is Zemplínska Šírava. It is over 10 miles long. It is easy to see why it has become a very popular resort area. Nearby is the second largest city in Slovakia, Košice. The 15th century Cathedral of St. Elizabeth and the National Theatre dominate the town square of Košice. Every morning, the villagers bring fresh fruit and vegetables to this marketplace. And after you've done your shopping, there is time to catch up on the local gossip. Central Slovakia is home to the cultural society known as Matica Slovenska and host to the renowned folklore festivals at Východná and Detva. It is a Slovak paradise, a Slovenský raj, crowned by the majestic Tatra Mountains. The city of Martin, formerly Turčanský Svatý Martin, celebrating its 700th birthday, is home to the heart and soul of the Slovak nation, Matica Slovenska. Since 1863, Matica Slovenska has persevered in its purpose to encourage and safeguard Slovak literature and art. The Slovak National Museum contains a rich collection of folk costumes and folk art. This costume from Chichmani with its oriental headband is a blend of Turkish and Slovak traditions. This large collection of beehives was the most delightful exhibit of all. Not far from the museum, Slovak villages are being constructed, which will display the art and traditions of the various regions. Of the planned 250 structures, only 50 have been completed. This is an ambitious project which will include several farms, a man-made lake, and this boat mill, which was afloat on the Danube River near Bratislava. It will be restored and refloated on the lake. One of the exhibits will be a sheep farm, a salash. My cousin John arranged for us to visit a real sheep farm, complete with a bacha, that's the shepherd, his sheep and his dog, where we had an opportunity to observe an old Slovak tradition, the making of sheep cheese. Sheep cheese, called brinza, is the main ingredient in a Slovak delicacy called brinzové halušky. Now halušky, a potato dough dumpling you saw being made earlier, is smothered with melted brinza, then flavored with smoked bacon bits. Delicious, but definitely not dietetic. Meanwhile, back at the salash, it takes 4 men 2 hours to milk 400 sheep. And this ritual takes place twice daily, early morning and evening. The dogs are supposed to chase the sheep into the milking pens, when they're not playing around, that is. The milk is strained through a cheesecloth and an evergreen twig, which gives the cheese a unique aroma. After the cheese is formed in the tub, it is removed and allowed to dry. The remaining sheep milk is boiled in large pots. This is called zhinčica, a drink not to be consumed in large quantities due to its powerful laxative qualities. Sometimes the cheese is molded into a large cigar shape and then smoked. This is called an oštiepok. We got very hungry watching this traditional process, so we asked for some traditional free samples. Dobru chut. Bon appetit. It would have been impossible to see all the sights and visit all of my relatives without our reliable Opel record. However, from time to time, our 20th century chariot had to yield to some more traditional forms of transportation. In In some villages, it was possible to observe a lifestyle uninterrupted by modern technology. The Slovaks' intense pride in their culture and heritage is manifested at their numerous extravagant folklore festivals. These festivals are not unlike a revival meeting. The soul-stirring, colorful displays of culture and traditions overwhelm the senses and emotions. Familiar songs and melodies fill the air, each one reviving a memory or two. You see, these were the songs sung to me by my mother and father. I always took special pride in my Slovak heritage, participating in Slovak life in America as a teacher in the Slovak National School in New York and as a performer and musician. Therefore, it was a special honor for me to accept an invitation from Matica Slovenska to perform at the festival in Detva. I proclaimed my pride as a Slovak American in my Slovak heritage to the applause of thousands of enthusiastic Slovaks.